When we thought of the idea a few months ago, the idea was to celebrate the fact that we do get involved with a large number of schools, but other institutions as well. And in individual parts, members of the company are aware that they do something special for somebody or one or two things, but no one probably has a total grasp of the totality of what we do. And the reason why today has been fabulous is that members of the company have come here and seen all the various people who we're involved with in one place, and it has been actually quite a mind-blowing experience. And it's also been terrific for the people who we do get involved with, meeting each other and seeing that we do other things too. So everybody's had an extremely happy time.
I was involved in putting the historical exhibition together, and we had 650 years, thousands of bits of data, hundreds of people involved in the company, and we had to pull it together and put it in one room in a cohesive whole. So that actually was quite a challenge, what we chose to present, what dates and events, and what people to present, what it meant to be a draper over a long period of time, and how the company developed from its very beginnings. We brought together themes, taking values that have endured over the centuries and bringing examples of drapers who represented those values so that people today could actually see how these values were relevant through a long period of time. We were already going to capture the master and a few other people's, what it meant to be a draper, and we thought we would actually get everyone here that came today to actually write on a little card, for them personally, what did it mean to be a draper? What did that represent for them? We've also today been exhibiting information relating to the company and the First World War. And of course, quite a number of drapers died in the war, and we've been remembering.
When we started, we weren't sure how many drapers were going to submit work. There's a little bit of wariness as to whether they'd be rejected outright, and we've had a lovely blend of professional artists and people who I think really charmingly love making work in their own spare time. So from high professional to I won't say ordinary amateur, but people who are very talented but do other things. Well, it was a great delight to find that we've got people like Polly Maynell, who are very established constructed textile workers, Nick Fidian Green, who's a very well known carver and bronze caster of his work, but in amongst the rest of the company, beautiful watercolourists, draftspeople, painters, and the engraved glass work of the works on the table. We didn't have to edit out too many pieces. I think most people submitted 3 and we took 2 from each individual. We weren't sure how the hanging would go, but that resolved itself very easily actually. It was a very sort of swift, spontaneous set of decisions, and I think it looks really good.
There are more drapers here per square inch today than we've probably ever had before. And people are seriously amazed at what goes on. People don't know, and why would they? If their husband or brother or son is involved in the company, for example, with the almshouses, why would they know that there was a heritage group? And so it's really nice to be able to strut our stuff. I think we have to be very, very wise over what we do, and we're very lucky to have good history and good antecedents in the company we can look back and see what they did in the past, and that's a huge help. Today makes me very happy. First of all, I'm happy because I'm no longer master and I haven't got the responsibility of looking after it as a day, but also because we're all having a lovely time.
The reason why the company has as much silver as it does is twofold. The sort of historic reason is that, of course, silver was another way for the company to keep its money. So therefore, rather than just having coins lying useless, unused in a coffer, then you could turn it into a cup, into a plate, into some sort of silver that you could use. So that's one reason. The other reason, of course, is that people have left items to the company as a commemoration or as a thank you. The most ancient and unusual piece in our collection is a gold lunula, which is dated 1,500, 2000 BC, and that was found on an estate we used to own over in Northern Ireland, outside a town we developed called Drapers town. We have a very special cup, standing cup and cover, that is called the Lombard cup. It was given to us in 1579, and it has around the top of the cup an inscription which reads, "A proctor for the poor am I, remember them before thou die." And that cup is always placed in front of the master whenever they dine here. We have a fine collection of rosewater dishes as well. That's a very ancient tradition of passing scented waters around so you can refreshen yourself at the end of a meal. Today the buzz upstairs is brilliant, and I think everybody really is enjoying themselves. And it's lovely to see all ages as well, seeing the children, the future drapers hopefully, buzzing around and doing quizzes, and yes, so far so good.
Then I decided that trading out of Bristol was far too provincial, so I set my sights on London.
our own vessel, the Royal Tamesis, is a replica of Queen Mary's barge, which was built in 1689. This particular replica was built in 1997, actually, and it was built by Michael Dennett of Laleham. He is a boat builder. She's built of Brazilian cedar. She's 36 foot long. She has 6 oarsmen, a whiffler, who's the gentleman who stands on the bow and ties and unties the boat, a coxswain who stands at the stern and steers, and we have room for about 7 or 8 passengers under the canopy at the stern. We've had a great deal of interest in her. Some of the Drapers, members of the Drapers company, have never seen her before, and to actually see her in the flesh has caused a lot of interest. Well, the most famous outing was the Queen's Diamond Jubilee 2 years ago on the River Thames. We took part in that. We were behind the Gloriana on the front row, and we had Pride of Place, and it was a very interesting day, very long, arduous day. The weather was foul, but we had a great time.
That's going to be quite a push one.
To land it, put it down, and then bullets her in.
Our aim, as I say, was to bring people together and for them to understand more broadly what we do, and I think we've achieved that. And I would say, and I think this is hugely important, actually we couldn't have done it without the staff. I mean, they're a wonderful staff, and they have really got involved. You know, they got hugely engaged with the whole concept. And this room, my office, wonderful as it is, which has talked about the committee work that we do today, has been a staff effort, and everything else around. So everybody has benefited from it. And I bumped into a lot of people, as you would imagine today, who said, meet my son or meet my grandson. He's very keen on joining the company, which is what we wanted, because we want the next generation to get an understanding of what it's about.